As I traveled in my CLL journey, I found my position as not just a patient, but as an educator and a physician added a certain responsibility. As a doctor, we can see around the corners and see where things are coming. And as an educator, I had the ability, I thought, to explain my journey in a way that would be helpful to other people. I've always found that advocating for others is not a selfless act, but actually helps yourself. There's actually no space between advocating for others and advocating for yourself. When you help others, you help yourself. When you help yourself, you help others. I started doing this by a blog, but it became quickly apparent that the blog was not enough. Telling the story in a chronological and kind of vertical way was helpful, but there was always new patients coming on who didn't know the background, and we'd have to start over again. So I set up a not-for-profit, the CLL Society, dedicated to the unmet needs of the CLL community. Our motto there is that smart patients get smart care. As the treatment paradigm is shifting so radically in CLL that there are new drugs and new therapies and new combinations of drugs and new prognostic testing and new preventative kinds of care that are coming available for CLL patients, it's sometimes hard for the hematologists in the community to stay abreast of all of those changes. And it's very important that patients be aware and become their own best advocates in looking for the treatment options that are available to them. And that's what we try to do at the CLL Society. Again, our motto, smart patients get smart care. The CLL Society is a 501c3 not-for-profit, and we address a number of unmet needs in the CLL community. The first is education. Our website is the backbone of that education. So we have basic articles there. Articles as basic as, what is a white blood cell? What does the spleen do? But we also have very advanced topics there. What is a checkpoint inhibitor? What is CAR T therapy? We also cover all the conferences. Again, leveraging my position as a doctor/patient, I have access to all the leading researchers. So I interview them at the major meetings, the American Society of Hematology meeting and other major meetings, and to find out what the latest research is telling us in CLL, and then I break that down into a patient-friendly way with explanations so patients can be aware of where CLL treatment is going. Another aspect of education is that we do live forums. The average age of a CLL patient is 72. So we recognize that not everybody gets their information from the web. So we do live patient forums in conjunction with major universities across the country. Last year we did 12 patient forums to teach patients and their caregivers about CLL. We also believe that there are certain things that patients can only learn from other patients. And while your physician can give you valuable information about your treatment and its management, only another patient can tell you what it's like to take a particular medication, how they felt at the time of diagnosis, how they manage things with their family. So we've set up peer-to-peer support groups in over 24 cities across the US and Canada to help patients talk to each other in monthly meetings. And we provide a framework and facilitate those groups across the country so patients can help each other in that peer-to-peer setting. Another area that the CLL Society is involved in is advocacy. We work with other organizations, some of them larger and international, in terms of making sure that patients have access to the best information and the best treatments that are available, not only in the US, but in other countries around the world. the last area that the CLL Society has been involved in is research. We believe that it's very important for the patient's voice to be understood by the hematology community. So we've done active research and published papers at the American Society of Hematology and at other meetings that talk about how do patients make decisions, what is important to them in terms of determining what their therapy should be. Some of these results that we found were illuminating and unexpected, and now they're part of the published peer-reviewed literature and help doctors decide, along with their patients in a shared decision-making format, what the best choices are for those patients.